Okay, I think I'm live. Okay, it is a happy, thankful Thursday, boys and girls. I know no one's on yet. I don't even know how to tell, to be honest with you. This is a new one for me, for sure. Okay, so live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. There is an example. Tap on a comment to show it on screen. Okay, so I guess we'll see comments. And hopefully this works out. We shall see. Oh. Okay, well, I'm early, obviously, by a few minutes for sure. But I didn't want to be late either. Okay, Ash, where are you? Where are you? Sorry, guys, I'm not the person for this. Oh, she's in the green room. Okay. Hold on. And I don't know why it doesn't show me. Help me. Green room. Oh. I am as well. Okay, why can I see that? Add to stage. Here we go.
You just go. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Can you hear me?
Full.
There you go. Get right there.
I don't know.
Hold on. Why I'm having difficulty.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Got it. Hi. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So Ash was just in waiting, and
You're not in.
correct. And I don't
Hold on.
see
No.
Enter studio.
an invite. Oh, help me. Thank God not a human being is watching.
Can you hear me?
Oh, one. I can. Can you hear me?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Wait. Here we go. There's Ash.
Oh.
Add to stage.
Y'all see me? Oh, okay, yay! I was like, I see y'all.
You guys, it's working. Ah! What the? I can't say the words. Now, wait a second. Was Carmen?
Tell her she's going.
You can't.
It's only 1 minute, so.
So Chantel, you're a bit echoey.
Okay, hold on. Let me try something else.
Wait, you should go. I'm going. Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
How is this? Is it
Say it
better?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
better.
Good.
That's better.
You guys, you know what's really weird? I think you both know I'm hearing impaired. Do you?
Say what?
That I'm hearing impaired?
Well, I didn't know that until this past weekend.
Yeah, so sometimes when I go on shows, they can't hear me well out of my Bluetooth hearing aid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so I try to use the AirPods because that seems to be the consensus for the most part. So here we go. Look, it's working.
Yay!
Dawn, guess what I'm smoking tonight?
What's that?
What are you?
Oh, yay! You're
But I don't want to touch it yet. You know what I mean? Like it's so pretty to touch. I want everybody else to see it.
You're
And you
so
guys,
funny.
I don't know I don't even know how to see anything. I don't know anything about this.
So if you look under your little thing, at the bottom you should have your chats. If you click on that, you should be able to see what people are typing.
You're the best. No, all I see, so I don't have chats.
And then you go to comments.
Okay, there's comments. Yep.
And then live, it says live viewer comments show up on
Yes.
StreamYard. You know, so yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So no one's commenting. No one's here. We're good.
It's always a learning curve.
You know what? I'm just happy we're here. Okay?
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, it is just us. We're good.
And that's okay.
Right?
You can have fun. Yeah.
That's right. So we don't know again where Carmen is. No, it's really interesting. She might be having a hard time. It wouldn't shock me. Okay, so Ash, I want to ask you a question because you're in the know.
Oh,
How many people do you know currently that podcasts and accounts have been shut down in our industry?
oh my goodness.
Like,
I was it's been a lot. And in back when Graybeard and I were doing our podcast, we kind of were coming across that issue. And that's kind of like, and we were on just live IG. We would just go live all the time. And then when that started happening, that's why we jumped off live IV because we were getting shut down. And we went to StreamYard, we went to YouTube and Facebook because we were having issues. And that was, when did we do that? I want to say 2 years ago. So, I mean, or I think it was 2 years ago. So at least, and a lot of people were getting shut down about that time, different podcasts, and people were just, they didn't like the fact that we were talking about cigars. Cigars was the main issues. There was no issues with the whiskey. There wasn't issues if, the comments were racy or the topic was racy. It was mainly about the cigars. And so I think that's kind of crazy because bourbon shows don't get shut down.
Because it's alcohol. Alcohol is acceptable.
Yeah, alcohol is acceptable. So, and especially when they were talking about, all the bans with trying to shut down cigars. You can't sell flavors. You've got to be like this age or that age to do cigars. And like for those who were born in like 2002 or 1999. Like the states that weren't giving that laws where you couldn't smoke a cigar ever, you couldn't even try it. They wouldn't even let you because they were making that ban. So, I mean, it's been a while, but I think it's getting worse. It's progressively getting worse for it.
you guys, it really genuinely blows my mind. I know, Ash, you posted yours, what it was about, and they tried to say it was either sexually explicit or you were soliciting sex.
Yeah.
I was blown away by, and like you say, I own it. I love to be sexy. Are you kidding me? You're like next level fabulous. So,
thank you.
You're so welcome. But this wasn't even.
It wasn't
nothing to do with it.
It was a whiskey bottle, a cigar, and my Glencairn. And like, people are sitting there saying, maybe it was your Glencairn that was causing it. So, but like as you see, here's my logo. Here
I know.
it's a sexy logo.
And I'm telling you, it's a cigar. It has.
So
it's ridiculous.
And it's kind of like what I've said. I've posted, like I've been like fishnet photos of my legs with cigars.
Yep.
I've been in bikinis and nothing.
Nope.
I've been in bikinis, smoking cigars. I have been outside in the snow in a really short top and shorts and fishnets, and nothing.
But that's acceptable.
There's
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I know. I had a moment. I had a moment here.
You're allowed.
Well,
beautiful.
yes.
Yay.
Hold that thought.
No worries. No, Ash, facts though. It just, so you guys, I think a lot of it is people reporting other people for whatever the reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know not from my industry am I a target. I am from just people that, don't want to see you win, right?
Yeah.
Then they have to face their own inadequacies and look in the mirror. So yeah.
And it's kind of, and if that's the case, that's why if it was someone not wanting to see me win, it's just going to make me win even more. It's like I had to create another account for Instagram just in case something happened to my Fine Ash Red account.
Mhm.
So, and plus I was like, okay, I'm going to hop on the show. I wasn't going to, my 4,000 followers weren't going to be able to see it, but at least I have another backup account. And then when I've just said, hey, y'all, I've been banned, it was amazing. My followers were like, okay, we're going to do both
Yes.
accounts.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just, here's my thing is like usually when someone tries to knock you down or show hate towards you or whatever, you're going to women bounce up better.
Preach, mama.
Yeah.
Preach, baby.
So,
Cheers to
and
that, lady.
that's just going to piss me off. And so I'm just going to do a lot more.
Mhm.
And I might even put more sexy photos up.
You should, absolutely. Give them something to talk about.
Carmen, my love. How are you so busy over there at the shop?
I only
Or the
have
lounge?
2 clients in here, but hubby's here taking care of it. I say, I'm going to the corner chair. Let me set up real quick.
Do you know what?
I'm on my union break.
You're in
So,
your home, so you're home away from home. Really, it's more like
yes,
your home
it
because you're there all
basically
the
is.
time.
Basically, that's how it works.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the home away from home because
Yeah.
we spend more hours over here than actual
Oh,
home.
facts. Well, you know what? And I want to see a tour in a little bit. But I'm dying right now because I have Carmen's Angry Beaver stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
This is, am I pronouncing correctly? It's a Corojo.
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 See, I
Yeah.
can't get the
Corojo.
R. I took French for 10 years and I couldn't get the R. I can
Get
if
those
I learn
R's
to
in
put
there.
Roll that.
Yeah, like when you want to,
Corojo.
you use it.
Corojo.
I
See,
just
look.
did it. Corojo.
Let it roll.
Now, let me ask you, is it Nicaraguan? Is it, or is it, oh, God, or is it Honduras? Do you know?
The blend of the cigar.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it grown, like the wrapper, is it grown in Honduras or Nicaragua?
That's for Dodd.
Can't hear me.
Yeah,
What's that?
Oh, she can't hear us.
Yeah.
Can't hear?
I can hear you.
Well, so Chantel's like it's like she's way back here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it
Okay.
sounds like a far back echo.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want to make it like it was just.
You're all getting it?
I'm not, and I think I don't know if y'all have AirPods in or just are using the mic or thing. I have my AirPods in, so it cuts out that.
Remember when I had the AirPod in before? You guys, you said something was happening and that you couldn't hear me correctly. Here, let me try and switch it out. Let's see if it works better because I want Dawn to be able to hear me. Hold on.
Yeah.
I know I heard you saying something about
Give me 2 seconds.
Corojo. So I'm not sure
is
if
this
you're
better
asking
or worse?
where the leaf are grown. I know that's a Honduras, Nicaragua. It also grows in Central America.
Yeah, well, apparently it used to be in Cuba and it's not there anymore. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good? Real good?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Right? Didn't it used to be grown in Cuba?
They grow it everywhere now in Central America. So that's a lot of it grown in Honduras and Nicaragua.
That's what I thought. I thought
anywhere within the valleys, they have good corojo out there.
Very cool.
So that was,
but they mainly after Cuba, they mainly grown in Honduras too. So they have a lot of the Jamastran Honduras. They have a big farm of corojo as well.
Very cool. Can you hear me now, Dawn?
it's a little better.
Okay. So sorry.
No, don't apologize.
So I want to continue with this because I want to light it. I'm dying. I'm like jonesing over here, So look at that. And I love the tip, the pigtail.
Oh, yeah. Aleta.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Dawn.
This
Aleta.
looks, let me ask, yes. Are you kidding? It's
It
exquisite.
looks just like a bihiki.
Now, let me ask you, this is bigger than a Toro, but looks smaller than a Churchill. What is it? Or is it a Churchill?
looks, it could be, right? With a pigtail on it, yes?
So so when they were done, we put the pigtails on them anyways. Obviously, you know, ish signature. So it's easy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's signature to just twist it up. You don't have to worry about punching and doing all that nonsense. Light it up.
That and
What
look,
size
you guys,
is that?
so you know
What
what I
size
gotta
is
tell
that?
you. What I love with the band is when you look at it, first of all, you know I love that purple color. And then it's got an iridescence to it, right? Like my lips, you know how they come out like 3D almost? This is an iridescence if you look at it from a certain angle, right?
Like a hologram. It has like a hologram.
hologram.
effect.
Yeah,
Really
that's
cool.
it. Oh,
Hologram.
thank you. Yes.
Really cool.
See?
Hologram effect.
This is why I need you ladies to fix
I'm
me.
making the Sumatra tonight.
Bring it
So you
closer.
all know.
Oh, the Sumatra.
Okay.
Okay.
Like
Oh.
that. I like that. That came out good.
Oh.
Right there, right there, right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
What size is the Sumatra and the Corojo? What size of cigar?
I think that, you know what? I'd have to go. Bobby's the expert here.
Uh-huh.
Honey, you guys have been through
That
a
looks
whirlwind.
that looks to me from the way you're holding it like a 54 by 6.5.
Okay. You know way more than I do. Oh my God.
Yeah?
Is that how you measure things, Carmen?
Carmen, tell me, I think this is pushing a 60, no?
It looks like it's a 58.
Let me
It could
see
be like a
this.
58.
Right? That's
Let me
right.
see.
Yeah, 56, 58. Toro.
No,
It's
no.
like a Toro.
Put it no. Let me see this.
She wants
Okay.
to see the flat like
Yes.
this.
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can't
So
see.
scoot
I'm
it
so
back
sorry.
some.
Bring
Scoot
it up
back.
a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at you. I love you.
56.
What is it?
That's a 56.
56. Yeah.
So you guys, the numbers?
No, you know what? Because she's like fucking the 007 of women cigar tobacconist, superstar rock star.
Exactly.
Okay? You're so fucking badass. You roll your shit, you and your fiance. What an amazing job you've done. You both roll.
We
You
love
just-
what we love.
I know, and I love watching you. I mean that.
Thank
Cheers
you.
to you. Cheers.
Thank you. I'm actually smoking. I have the honor to finally get my hands on this. So Luis has been working. Well, he doesn't have a full name yet, but he's working on this beautiful cigar. It's a Habano wrapper with Sumatra binder, Dominican and Pennsylvania. So it starts as a kind of like a 52, and it goes down all the way to like a 42, I believe. 42. So it looks like a little tower. So he got this whole 3D made, and the wrapper, I don't know if you can see, it's probably a little bit blurry. Hold on, let me clean this up a little bit. And the
Look at that.
mold, the mold itself has wood prints in it. So when you
Oh,
press
how
it,
cool.
it looks like wood marks. So it looks
That
like
is
a
very
flower,
cool.
big to small, but not a full
Yeah.
Salomon. So I finally, he's
love it.
finally letting me try. So that's yeah, he's been working on it. And I was gonna get one of ours, and he's like, "No, try this and give me your intake." And pretty damn good, I gotta say. He can cook. He can cook.
I am like amongst you guys are rock stars, all of you, and I got to tell you, Dawn, out of the gate,
That looks
I
good.
don't even know what's up. Like in other ways, in a good way. I'm coming out with a sweetness, a clean sweetness, right out of the first few draws that I've had. This is going to be
I'm
interesting.
glad to hear that. And the ash we had, must have been before you had to tap it. The ash was long.
She sits there and says Ash, and I think she's calling me or saying something to me.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. I was like, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so you'll have to all give me lessons on this. The 52, the 42. Carmen, I have had no idea about any of that. As
So
a,
that the ring, yeah, for the ring gauge, because, and I'm going to say this, and Carbon can, jump in here too. But the bigger the ring gauge, it's going to have more of the, the bigger the
flavor
number, it's, yeah.
profiles. And
So
it
like,
adds.
it's going to have more filler in it. So, for me personally, like, I love Lanceros because
Yeah.
Lanceros, you get more wrappers. So whenever you smoke a cigar, most of your flavor, a huge percent, like 80% comes from
It's
the
in that
wrapper.
wrapper.
Is that
Yep.
in that wrapper?
Yeah.
So, and so if you really want a distinctive taste or to know what a wrapper tastes like, that's when you get the
Smoke the wrapper.
smallest, you get the
Mhm.
smallest ring gauge
Ring
of it,
gauge.
like a
Yep.
Lancero, And then because it's so tiny, and it's like those, remember those like Hollywood people like that
Like
smoked
the
the cigarette, but
the
it's the whole
Panatella
cigar
Yes.
size.
that's,
Yes.
yes,
The
it's
That's
the
what I was
Panatella.
whole,
thinking
yeah,
of. Yes.
but it's long, it's a long one of those, it's very feminine, and but you get to enjoy and get to know the different flavors and profiles of cigar that way, because you get more of a taste of the wrapper.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I like Lanceros. I mean, and everybody's entitled to enjoy whatever they would like or whatever. But I feel like whenever a cigar has more fillers, the bigger the ring gauge, you can't taste the wrapper as much because of the filling and the
The
binder.
filler and the binder. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is true because I know the one you smoke in the Corojo tends to be more on the sweetness,
Hmm.
nuttiness,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting. A lot of
leathery.
sweet,
But that's
forward sweet.
mantra that you're smoking, Don, it should be a little bit more of the earthiness more than the
Hmm.
leathery.
yeah, it's a little more
Because
Hmm.
earthy, a little spice,
yeah, yeah.
woodsy,
Spice, sweetness, and leathery, and
Hmm.
then
a light sweetness at the end kind of thing.
Yeah.
let
And
that oil reheat that cigar. It'll change the whole profile. And then if you pair it with something different, forget it. It
Mhm.
turns into a whole different ball game. Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when you were telling me, Carmen, that you tried Belladonna's with a clean palate?
I do.
Clean
So
palate, clean
that's
all
my
the way.
ritual. Every time
Yeah.
I really want to learn about a cigar, I make sure I have a clean palate. So
Yep.
clean light, clean palate.
Yep.
Get the best out of it from the beginning all the way to the end.
With not
All
being
the way to
skewed,
the end
right?
because that's
Yeah.
when all the oils kind of concentrate right at the end. Some
Mhm.
cigars tends to turn a little bit bitter, kind of
Mhm.
acidy, but you can appreciate that when you have a clean palate because if you smoke through the day and then you go from like full to medium and fluctuate, you're not really gonna appreciate something new that you have never smoked, something that you have used to where you already know, okay, I'm in the mood for this because I already recognize that. But when you introduce yourself to
Correct.
something new, the best way to do it for me, it's definitely a clean palate and thank you, a clean palate and a clean light.
But that
So
makes
Dawn, I'm shoring up your stick. I'm drinking wine with your stick. I apologize. I'll have to buy another one.
I know that Chantel, you said you couldn't see the comment, so I just wanted to say Chris Coulter's on here, and he's like, he asked what everyone was smoking, and he had a warped La Cominina Unioso earlier, and then also Dave Yancey Graybeard said hello, and Chris Coulter says that he's now going to have to add Angry Beaver to his list, and then
That's great.
he said that he's all out of his BDC cigars, his Bellas. His birthday's coming up, and he's going to have to get some more flush queens as soon as possible and aces. So that's the cool thing is they're now in Fort Worth in Dallas area, and it's not
Yes.
too far from your house, Chris, where you can go get them in 1849 or 18 the Cigar
Actually,
Lounge
you
Yeah.
guys, we're actually in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 locations.
in Texas
Getting
now. Just DFW.
Texas, getting ready to add El Paso, and then I don't know. My sales rep is writing another order, I think tonight. So we're going to be statewide in Texas with one sales rep. This is what
Yes.
this guy has done.
So that's very exciting.
It
And I
will
know
be
where he
coming.
lives. So I
Yeah.
know where he lives, so I can tell him which lounge
Weatherford
to.
has it. Yes. 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 Weatherford has it. Get called, okay? I don't know what they have though. I can't remember. You're looking at Flush and Queens. I know for sure they have Flush. Hey, Ash, I'm going to ask you this.
Yes.
Why is it? You know, everything is bigger and better in Texas, right?
True. Yes.
Why, but I love it. I love Texas ginormous. But why do they like the Flush? Why do they like the yes, they all, so many stores want the Connecticut.
Well, and here's the thing is like, I think a lot of the people I know, they have the flexibility where they work from home or they're on the road or whatever. And so a lot of people start their sticks early in the morning.
Yep.
I used to actually, before I went to school, I used to smoke a real small one cigar,
The
you
shorty.
know, a shorty before
Yeah.
I went into work.
Shorties.
And my thing is, is like most of the time, and then it's, you know, so I think that's why it's like, we start off early in the morning, and I know that some people, some states and some people don't, but I don't start off smoking cigars in the morning now because, I'm in a school, so I've got to
Can't
do that.
smell.
Yeah, I can't smell like it.
Right? It'd be worse than smoking cigarettes in the cold back in the day, right? Have you ever smoked cigarettes in the cold? It's the worst
Yes,
smell known to mankind.
and it's not fun to do. I'm sitting there freezing. So who wants to do it?
No, you gotta be able to enjoy it. I mean, it's such a work of art. You know, the time and the work that goes into a cigar for you to kind of rush it. I'm with you, Ash. If you don't have the time and you don't want to commit, you get a shorty and you still can enjoy it. But you're not gonna catch me out there in the cold weather trying to smoke a presidential size cigar.
So if you're gonna do it, you need to have the right setup. So like tonight in
Right.
Texas, it's cold. So I have a fire pit here, and then I have a little heater here. So it's comfortable for me. It works.
Yes.
But if I didn't have that, I would be in the garage with the door cracked and a heater on in there. So and it kind of goes the same way when it's too hot. Like when it is so hot, because like we get like 110, 113, right? So you can't enjoy a cigar when it's that hot outside. You're miserable. And the sad thing is, like, you're like, oh, I'll wait till late at night. No, it's still like
It's still
100 at
hot
night.
and humid
It's
and nasty.
yes, and no, we don't want
We know
that.
in Florida too, right? We all know. We all know what it's like in Florida. It's just a different, when I lived in Vegas, it was a dry heat. So you would feel like the pavement, if you were putting gas in your car, was igniting your ankles, right? But here, right, we just pour sweat.
Oh my
Because
God!
of
I feel
humidity.
like you melt. Like you melt. Everything melts.
Melts.
With a
Melts.
fan.
Thank you.
Smoking.
Melts. Just melts.
My hair, you can feel my hair growing. The humidity is just like, what is this? No.
Worse, I look like a poodle on the worst hair day where they haven't been groomed by their owner. Okay.
Yes.
No worse.
Yes. But you know what? All those factors, on the real note, on the serious note, all those factors do affect your cigar. If it's humid,
they do.
it can expand. It can keep the bubble up. If it's too dry, I mean, rainy days, you even try like to be covered somewhere. Everything goes into the cigar, and you can see the canoeing, cracking, expanding. It blows up, and people don't think. A lot of people will confuse the elements or where you at, not thinking how much it can affect a cigar, and say, oh, I just went to so and so place and they have bad cigars in there because I had this experience. And you're not thinking, because you're unaware of it. Where were you smoking? What were your elements around you? It does affect, and it may not be itself. It could be where you were standing or where were you at the time where you were smoking. It all comes in. It's a whole. You gotta treat it nice. Treat you nice so you can enjoy it.
It's true. You have to be so cognizant, and especially living in a warm climate, right?
Yes.
Like we all do at certain times of the year specifically. The struggle is real. You know, when
Sure.
I don't care, even in your lounge, Carmen, there are still factors. You don't want to freeze your customers out either.
Yeah.
But it is a factor. It does come through. Insulation, you know, is obviously really important. And that's what I'm going to have to do as we start to get to this warmer weather. I'm going to have to insulate on the inside of my walls where my humidor is to prevent them from that, because I can't live in freezing cold. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, and also like this kind of brings back to like you know, it's how you store your cigars too, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people will have, you know, they'll place their humidor right by the window and it'll be a glass top. Glass tops are the worst
worst.
humidors you can get. Don't
Along
get
with
a
the leather
glass
humidor
top.
travel case.
Yes.
They're the
Don't
worst.
get that.
They
Yes.
are the worst.
So in leathers, yeah, because people will keep them overnight. No, you can't do that. Leather will dry it out, even if you have a Humipack in it. So you have to be cognitive of where you are. You also have to look at the humidity in your own house. A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about like, okay, I'm going to be gone for the day, so we're going to turn up our AC up to like, you know, 80 or 75. If you know, you got to think about your cigars when it gets real cold. People thought I was crazy. We had a huge freeze where we froze out everything in Texas. I lost electricity for a week. I got as many blankets as I could. I didn't care if I was freezing, and I covered up my cigars because I didn't want them to crack,
That's
because I
right.
knew that that weather would have an impact on it. So you have to think about like those particular things. And then if you're going inside, outside, and it's a little bit warmer or colder, you don't want to go too cold because your cigar is going to crack, right? But if you're going outside, it's kind of like, you know how whenever you have like you open up a wine and you let it bloom, or you open up whiskey and you let it bloom, right? You
Let it air
get
out.
air out and everything.
The air rate, yeah.
Do that to your cigars if you're going outside. You know, 15, 20 minutes, let it get acclimated to the weather. So, because, and like you were saying, people are like, well, you know, this is a bad cigar because it tunneled, or this is a bad cigar because it cracked. No,
I
it's a
always
bad
ask
cigar
them,
because
where were
you're,
you when you were smoking that? That's my
or
first question.
how did you store the cigar? I ask them how they stored it. And then I ask them, okay, where were you when you smoked
Where
it?
were
And did
you?
you let it get acclimated?
I agree.
Well, that's like you guys, when we lost power here for the second hurricane is when I lost power, you know, the back ones we had, you all, you know, the second one I lost power for 8 days. 8 days.
I remember that. That was insane.
You guys, I literally, and I had places to go. I wouldn't leave my house because my merchandise was just delivered. I just relaunched. I have humidors. You don't understand. And the way I have this set up, right? And I'm watching the temperature rise, and it's rising. I'm tripping because I want to be there as soon as the power comes back on to ice box this whole entire house because I've got to. There is no option, right? I had generators brought in. The humidors were blowing out the generators because I needed them all to run simultaneously. It was unbelievable. So I had to wait 2 weeks, which blessing, it was only 2 weeks, but 2 weeks straight days where it got to a level where I had to get it in the correct temperature and humidity to be able to give them to the public. And thank God I didn't have beetle problems or any of this other shit. Whatever could have happened, didn't happen. I thought I just had all this inventory delivered. I just relaunched. And I'm like in quicksand, right?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. By the grace of God, it turned out just fine. Better than okay. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's one of the things. A lot of the cigar, like big, not to mention names, but the big distributors, large distributors, you know, sometimes they sit on the warehouse. It's not acclimated properly. By the time you order online and it gets to you, all the changes in the delivery process, and then are you there to receive your package? Did you wait? Did you did a little transition before actually opening and putting that in your humidor? You know, did you check that? Because a lot of people just grab it out. It's fine, or I'm gonna smoke it right away. Oh, this is
no.
but they don't think about point
the journey. to
B,
break
Correct.
B,
until
C,
it gets
D, E,
on your
F.
hand. And it's a lot of days without being in the humidor. Even if they put it on your little humidor pack, you don't know the conditions and where were that stored or what
So,
delivery guy did he park, where was he going, which state before he gets there.
yeah.
It's a lot of
100%.
time. It's a lot of time. Yeah.
So,
Well, you know,
so part of this, like what we're talking about, is I actually wrote a magazine in the magazine for this last issue that we had out, and it was from seed to shop, and it talks about the journey of a cigar, and it talks about like from the seed, how they pick out the seed, how they condition it, how they have it in little seedlings, then it goes into the farm, and then it talks about the farmers having to make sure that the bugs, they're treating it, they're
Yeah.
taking care of it. It takes the whole journey from the very beginning to where it ends up in the shop, and that's part of the thing is like, it travels. And I know when I worked in a cigar shop, we didn't like open the cigars and immediately put them out, because
Right.
if you do, it's not going to smoke good. If they just come in, you
You
have to
gotta
let it
season
get
them.
acclimated. Yeah. And it's like what you were saying is like a lot of people, I say, whenever you're getting your cigars and you buy cigars from online, right? I treat it like a fish in a certain humidor,
Yes.
and I
I
open up the
love
bag.
that.
Yes.
I
Love
I
that.
open up the Ziploc bag,
And you put it in its
and
environment.
I put it in its environment. Then a couple, I let it usually sit like that for a week or two. Then I
Mm-hmm.
take it out of the bag and put it in the humidor, where it's the higher humidity, right? And then I let it get acclimated. And then I put it in the one where because I store mine like at 69, 70.
Yep.
So then I put them in the 70 and I let it get acclimated. And I've had people get upset and they're like, "You didn't smoke my cigar. I sent you a cigar." And I'm like, I have a whole process and I have to let it do this, or especially in the summer Texas heat. Because if I don't,
Oh, oh my God. Yep.
or the freezing winter. And I've had
Yep.
companies I've ordered from shops because I really believe in supporting the brick and mortar. I'm big about brick and mortar, you know, and they have sent me cigars without humidifiers in them, humi packs.
And nothing I sent, and I'm glad you mentioned this. And it's an expense no matter what, but why wouldn't you spend that little extra, right?
It's
And
it's
take
the
that little
quality.
extra care. Even in my my 6-pack sampler,
Yeah.
yes, it's not closed up. Okay. So we
Hmm.
know that Boveda is only going to go so far, but it's going to go
Hmm.
far enough to get you. It's going to get you in the correct way. And it actually, even with it having all kinds of openings, it will last for a minute, right? You don't have to freak
Hmm.
out. But I'm taking it from the humidor and I'm sending it in that condition. And it is going possibly through extreme conditions. But at least it's humidified correctly. I
Right.
believe in that very much. You're supposed
And
to let it sit, we all know, right? But
I didn't buy from them again just because of that. And
I
I
don't
let them
think.
know, you know,
Yeah.
and it was coming from West Texas. It's coming from West Texas. And it took it over 8 days to get to my house in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
wow,
So, yeah.
that's
So
crazy,
is
isn't
it
it?
the case that people don't,
So Ash, I
if
don't think
they're in their element and they don't think about how it's going to be? I mean, especially in the cigar world, I would think that they would. Does it really cost, or is it just they don't see the journey?
I think that they were thinking because I was in Texas that
It
it
was
would
gonna
get
get
there
there.
like in 2 or 3 days.
quickly, correct, yeah,
But
yeah.
here's my thing: it's the U.S. mail. You don't know.
Right.
No.
You don't know if
These days, there's
it's
no idea
Any
what's happening.
delays, anything.
Right.
Anything.
Right.
Anything.
You know, anything.
No.
So Ash, I don't know Carmen and Dawn know, like other than you being this fabulous woman and fabulous personality,
oh,
and
thank
like
you.
the better than Jessica Rabbit, okay? But you remind me of
Tell
that
me
persona,
more.
right?
Tell
So
me more.
listen to what Ash brings to the table, and she's a badass boss babe as well. Please tell everybody, because these ladies don't know, I don't think.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with where my cigar journey started. So back in, the early 1900s, no, like, in 1997, because like when I say, because I started smoking cigars when I was 19 years old, and people freak out. But back in 1997, 98, it
Normal.
was legal for us to
Normal.
start smoking
And it was
cigars at
popular.
that age.
It was
Normal.
popular. It
Yeah.
started in
And,
'94. It's
and
popular. Yes.
yeah. So I was dating this guy. I was dating a seaman. I was dating a Navy man. And he smoked cigars. He and his roommate smoked cigars all the time. And finally I was like, hey, I want to try that. That looks really cool. So I liked the cigars more than the Navy man. So I continued to smoke cigars, dropped the Navy guy. So she and I but this is back like in Texas. So Texas, we're Southern Belles, and Texas women are also a different breed. They'll do what they want to do, what they want. They're very headstrong. You don't cross a Texas woman, but we are told to have that appearance of you don't do anything that's not ladylike. And smoking cigars at that time was not ladylike. It was a lot. There were several women that did it, and I'm going to say it was more up above than Mason Dixon line. Okay, so I would go into cigar lounges, and people would look at me like I was an alien. They were like, "Are you buying for your boyfriend? Are you buying for your husband, your dad?" And I'm like, "No, I'm buying for myself." And I smoked regular cigars. I did, and they're like, "Oh, you want a flavored cigar?" And I'm like, "No, I want a regular cigar. Like, give me the strongest cigars." Assuming that.
Yeah.
And I get along better. Like we were talking about this, I get along better with males than I do females. So I kind of felt at home in the cigar shop, and was in the world. And then I had to take a break because I decided to have like 5 children. I thought that would be really cool to have 5 kids. Um, and so I had my 5 children. So whenever I was pregnant and they were having mommy's milk, I didn't smoke. But as soon as that was done, I went back to smoking my cigars. It was always something very therapeutic for me. I enjoyed it. It gave me that time to think, calm down, get my emotions in check, and have my time away from all these 5 kids that were all my kids are like my oldest was when my oldest was 3, I had 4 kids. Okay, I had 4 kids, and yeah, so it's insane. So then
Diapers.
yeah, they're all diapers. So I was doing that, and then I started back smoking again, and then I got throat cancer, so I had to put a pause on that.
That's right.
Yeah, and then I asked my doctor, finally, when I was done with all the chemo and all that beautiful stuff, my doctor says, I know you're anxious about starting to smoke cigars again. And then he goes, I will let you know. Then one day out of the blue, and this is towards the end of me graduating with my dual masters. So it was time for celebration, right? Because it was a big thing. And I was like, God, I wish I could have a cigar. I really wanted a cigar. And I kid you not, like a day or so later, he calls and he says, hey, you can start smoking cigars again. So I was like, woohoo. So I went, I was trying to find which cigar lounge I wanted to go. And then I had a co-teacher recommend Underground, which is my home shop. So I went to the Underground Cigars, and they welcomed me. They were like, hey, high five, welcome to the Underground, even though I was the only female. And then they started teaching me about cigars. They started teaching me about, the wrapper, the binders, and the fillers and stuff. And so then I started to become educated. So then I was thinking, hey, I really like this. And then, I started joining different cigar groups. And then I started working on my certified retail tobacconist, So, and I started learning more about cigars. And about that time, Luciano had just come out, with his cigars from his first time around, right? And I was smoking one of those cigars, and I decided to go live because I was like, hey, Why
Why
not?
not?
Why not? So I went live and it became such a big deal. People started messaging me and saying, "Hey, when are you going to go live and introduce another cigar?" And so I was like, "Oh, okay." They liked it.
Have a good night.
So that's it started to, I started to do more lives, and then that's when Graybeard and I got together. And then we started going live, and then we created Leaf and Grain Society. And so we started doing podcasts, and we started teaching people the basics about, cigars. Because I know when I first started, I didn't know how to store them. I didn't know how to take care of them. I
Exactly.
didn't know what a difference between a torpedo was and a robusto. I didn't know what, a corojo was, Sumatra, And then I noticed whenever I would drink and eat that my cigars, it either worked really well and took it to a new height to where it was amazing and all the flavors just exploded in my mouth. And so we decided to teach people about pairings, complementary, contrast. And then about that time, I had my Instagram started, I started getting the following, and I'd been asked to be in certain magazines. One was International Woman Cigar magazine, and so, and kind of, it was women basically saying what they liked about cigars and all of this stuff.
That's good.
And so then I love coffee. I am a coffee snob, I like my coffee. So we created a whiskey coffee, but we also created our own cigar with Noel Rojas. So we had a San Andreas, we created a leaf and grain cigar, and then we
Oh,
created the
just one.
leaf and grain whiskey
You
coffee
had
because we
two,
both like
but you paid for
whiskey.
the first one.
And then after that, the podcast started, and then Graybeard's always wanted to write. He's loved writing. He enjoyed
Yes.
writing. And so we started with Leaf and Grain magazine. And then my focus was to spotlight women in the industry.
Love it.
And so, like, I had Chantel. Interviewed her, talked about Bella. I'm BDC, and talked about that. And then I've interviewed women who own cigar lounges, would feature that. And then I also started going to different cigar lounge because I said I have a love and admiration for the brick and mortar. I started going live and showcasing different cigar lounges, promoting them for free. And and they grew, and they really appreciated that. So that started happening. And then we kind of were getting crazy busy with life. Sometimes it's like you get insane with life. So we had to slow back on the podcast. My dad had gotten really sick.
I remember
And
that. Yes.
so work was insane. Being a mom was insane. And then I was getting my first little grandson, which, I wanted to be there for all of that. And, so it was difficult to start doing the podcast. So that's when we really focused on the magazine, and we just took off with it. We have pairings. We talk about pairings in the magazine. We talk about cigars from the beginning to the end. We talk about whiskey. We talk about wine. We talk about mead. We have recipes. We even put recipes
They
with
do.
cigars,
Let's see if I can put this
And
up there.
so, and during that, and also during this time, I worked at a cigar lounge and did that, paid my dues for working at a cigar lounge. And that's when I learned, oh my gosh, it looks so glamorous to have a cigar lounge. It is a work. You work your ass off. You work your butt off. Like, you don't realize everything that goes into a cigar lounge,
So,
and it's and it's the same that I've learned with interviewing different people about, you want to come up with a cigar, you want to have your own industry, and everybody thinks it's going to be so easy and it's not going to be different. Um, so, I mean, that's the thing is I have appreciation from that. And I've also had the chance to go to PCA, do interviews for that and
Yes.
promote that. So, I mean, so that's just to kind of give a little bit. I've started recently where I'm going to distilleries and highlighting whiskeys around Texas, different distilleries.
Love
So that way,
Very cool.
and it used to be beers. I used to be big with beers, but I found out I'm celiac. So that doesn't work so well.
Yeah, right?
So, so that
Love
is
it.
that
I love it.
that is me in a nutshell.
So, Ash,
And
let me ask you a question though, because
yes,
okay, so where does, first of all, I mean, everyone can, they can find you if they know you, if someone's watching. I put up Leaf and Grain magazine, so I think they can look for that. But where do we buy the products, the coffee, everything? Where do we buy the product?
okay. So here's the thing: we're free. You just go and download us, and it's actually Leaf and the letter N. So it's Leaf and the letter N, Grain Society. And if you go to Leaf and Grain Society, and here's the thing: we rate the cigars. So when we rate the cigars, it is an honest rating. It's not
Yeah,
ones that are, we don't have paid, currently we're not having paid advertisement. We haven't, but we rate it honestly, how we feel. And, and I'm not, just because you're my friend, and I tell them, I said, just because you're my friend, I'm not going to rate it because of that. And it's a positive constructive criticism. It's not negative, and we try 3 different cigars because sometimes in the shipping or whatever, it just might be a fluke where it's a bad cigar out of that one box.
yes.
So and so we do rate the cigars. So but yeah, if you check out Leaf and the letter N, grainsociety.com, you'll see the reviews of wine, whiskeys. We have recipes up there. We do pairings, so it's
Love it.
there's nothing there's nothing else quite like it. We're a little bit
There isn't.
different. And
You are.
and
I
it,
love
and
it.
it's not just people talking out of their butt,
Yeah.
you have like CRT, we have a CRT, we have cigar sommeliers, we have wine sommeliers.
Mhm.
We have a wine sommelier that's a level 3. She's the mass, the highest that you can go. We have bourbon experts, people who are, bourbon stewards, and they've gone as high as they can go. So it's educated people. And here's the thing is like, um you watch podcasts, and I'm not knocking anything, so please don't take it that way. But some of the people, it's just they call themselves aficionados, and I'm not even aficionado. I've been doing this since like for 24, 25 years, 26 years. I've been smoking
Mhm.
that long. I've been, in like the cigar industry for maybe 4 years now. And every time I get around somebody, and I read about like cigars, and I read about stuff all the time. I watch videos, I watch, the History Channel, things like that. I'm a big nerd, but I can't learn enough. I don't feel like I'm a master. I'm not a aficionado, but we're educated. And sometimes when you get on those podcasts, the people have it as a hobby. So that's just my disclaimer out there.
No, but
Um,
It's perfect.
you have a ton of knowledge, right? And I
yeah.
know for myself,
Yeah.
just like y'all, for the most part. And Dawn, you were worried a little while ago because you said you want to learn and you need to know things. I'm self-taught. I am a work in progress every day, all the way around, right? Learning.
I'm the virgin of the 4 of us. The virgin.
It's what?
I'm the virgin. I mean, I've only come into this 12 years ago. And this was just like, Bobby did it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try it.
They got a band tonight or something.
Yeah, I'm still way.
But you know what?
But-
This is why you're hanging around with this crew, right? Right? Okay. These 2 ladies right here, right there, those 2 gorgeous women, they are your wealth of information. They're mine as well. if we needed to ask something, I'm going to tell you something. One of them would know, and if they didn't know, they would certainly
We'll find.
easily be able to tell us the answer without having to do the research that we would have to do on certain topics. So you have two unbelievably knowledgeable women. So, and I know I can speak for both of them. Reach out, right? If you need to reach out, I know I will. Because I know that neither of them are going to judge me. If I had a question, I'll be like, okay, what is this? I need your help. Can you translate, please?
And I love it because people will DM me and ask me, hey, I would like to do a pairing, or I have a celebration, or I want to do this. What would you recommend? You know, and then they're saying, oh, I'm eating this dinner. What cigar or a whiskey or wine would you pair for that?
Love that.
And
Love
so
that.
I love those DM messages. I don't mind answering those DM messages, you know, but no, I'm not going to marry you.
Good. Listen, I always say knowledge is power.
Mhm.
I stick to that. Knowledge is power because you're not only educating yourself to be able to provide the same information to somebody else. It's probably, like you mentioned, Ash is a novice, started to getting their foot on different pairings as well. But be able to provide the information is everything. And sometimes we're human, we can make a mistake. We may not come up with the name right away or something like that instinct. So it's good to say, you know what, give me some time. Let me do a little bit more research. I'll get back to you. So you better off just putting somebody on hold, give them the right information versus just answer the first thing that comes
But I
into
think
your
that's,
mind.
but I think that's acceptable. Why would you?
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some people do take it personal for whatever reason, and they will judge you. They will say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." No, people don't realize how much information it's in here on everything that we love and everything that you can pair a cigar with. That at that moment, like myself, I'm here at the lounge, I'm doing multiple things, and somebody will ask me a question, and I was like, oh, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
And you need to kind of regroup yourself, and you need to come up with the right answer. So
Carmen, I know Dawn, and I believe Ash. Yeah, she would have known. Where you are, what you do. Okay, you were just on Cigar TV. What a fabulous!
Thank you.
Don't you love that crew? Love those guys. They're the bomb.com, right? Aren't they great?
Thank you. Yeah.
So
They're a great group. Absolutely.
We got the best hand-rolled cigars in the Space Coast.
We're the only ones.
Tell us.
We're the only ones.
Well, even if there was someone else, you're going to be the best.
So, thank you. My first cigar experience was by my grandfather. I was 9 years old, totally normal in Puerto Rico. You drink coffee when you're 5, you may smoke a cigar when you're 9. Completely normal. Nothing out of this world. It's normal.
So I was an old lady when I started smoking.
And, I kind of fell in love with it. And I never knew what kind of cigar it was. It was like an old school big cigar, super dark, local from Puerto Rico. And I used to ask a lot of questions to my grandfather. So I think he gave it to me as like, here, shut up. But I took it. And I thought I was like the coolest kid. I'm like, oh my God, I'm smoking a cigar. What? And I fell in love with it. Then I took a pause, just like Ash, you become a mom, life happens. But it was always my passion. So I would smoke, just like you mentioned, kids go to sleep. Let me get my time in. It's my moment. And from there, it started with a cigar pick. So my cigar journey, aside from smoking and learning, we started doing cigar picks. We generated some income or some revenue that way. And everything is possible in life. We started with a 10 by 10 as a vendor. We put a rolling table, and I was just getting it all in. We didn't bring any cigars from the outside. It was just what we were rolling, and that was it. We expanded to a 10 by 20, and we had what we call a mobile lounge. So we brought club chairs. We put an area rug, the rolling table, I put chandeliers, and we did everything from divorce party to wedding to corporate to house party. You can put a cigar, we there. Then with time, it brought us here to Florida. We still do events, and this happened. This is the baby.
Mhm.
So we are the only cigar lounge in the Space Coast that can actually, you walk in and you say, "Hey, hand roll me a cigar," no problem. We take care of it. We do have some cigars in our humidors that it's ours, but we don't sell bundles. We just roll as it goes. That's it.
Yeah, love
We
it.
have different shelves where we acclimate them, and then we rotate them, and to put them back in the shelf. But people be like, "Oh, I want a bundle." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't do bundles. So if you want 20, you're gonna get 20. If you want 50, you're gonna get 50."
Yeah,
Um,
that's actually beneficial, really. It really is
absolutely,
to the consumer,
absolutely.
right?
And I also learned how to roll from Hesler Hernandez. He has a cigar lounge here in St. Cloud, Florida. So he taught me how to roll and bunch the Cuban way. And then I met down the line Francisco Almonte from the DBL Cigars. And he kind of saw me and he said, "No, no, 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 no. Just forget everything you learn. You're going to learn the Dominican way." I'm like, "Oh my God, like really?" And Francisco Almonte, it was one of the rollers for Arturo Fuente. And with time, he became the GM from the LFD. And from
Mhm.
there, he said, "You're going to meet me at my lounge in Red Bank, New Jersey." I swear to God, I thought I was going to die that day because he got on his lounge and he opened a door and the basement goes down. And it was cramping and cramping and it's dark as could be. And I'm like, "Am I going to die here? Like, I don't care who this man is." Like, it was scary. As soon as we got to this little tiny hallway and we got into his section where he was storing his cigar, it was amazing. I mean, he gave me shit. He
Mhm.
judged me, and I loved it because I know it meant well, and I wanted to be judged also if I was doing it wrong, because I would not want to do
Mhm.
something that you're not gonna enjoy. So if I don't like it, I don't want that out. So
Right?
we learned with that, and we kind of took that idea to incorporate it in our lounge. Our concept of his and her cigars, it was also be able to welcome everybody and anybody. I don't care who you are. Um,
Mhm.
I had that experience in different lounges in up north where you will walk in, you want to have a cigar, and you will be in a little bit judged. There was a lot of men
Mhm.
that will give you this look like you don't belong here. Yes,
Mhm.
I do. I belong here, just like you do.
Mhm.
And as you walk, you see their faces. It was kind of
Mhm.
uncomfortable. And there will be times where I would just grab my stick, go to a park, relax, and not deal with anything. Because sometimes you do need your time. You need your private time. And
Mhm.
one day I told Luis, I said, "You know what? When we had a lounge, I want to make it comfortable enough that if a woman walks into that door
Mhm.
and she's by herself and she wants to enjoy a cigar, she's more than welcome to do so."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we accomplished. So everybody that walks through that door, we receive them. Well, Don can tell you, "Hey, how are you?" I'm pretty loud.
I was letting you finish, but yes, the atmosphere is very cozy, home, and everyone that's come in there's a connection some silly, crazy way, which
Yeah,
Ron can say, but it's
I
very
think you
inviting.
quoted the cheers of cigar, and Bobby calls a portal.
Carmen,
But
how
I
about
do.
Well,
you?
I hug it. I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. So I don't know you. You walk into the, "Hey, how are you?
Yes.
Nice to meet you."
Yeah,
I
that's
give you
it.
a hug, and
Yes.
and
Yep.
and that's who I am because I like to project what I would like to be projected on me. Like I want to walk into a place, feel comfortable. Even if you visit it and you may not come again, but I want you to leave here with the experience that,
Yeah.
"Oh, that was nice. I enjoy my
Yeah.
cigar. I enjoy the company." Oh, I just enjoy cigar and I was able to relax. So you can get the best of both worlds here. You can get either loud or either relaxed.
Mhm.
It depends on the night. Or you can get great stories. If Bobby's here, you're gonna get great stories.
But I will say, like, when I saw that your lounge was his and hers, like the name of it, I was like, "Oh my god, that is such an amazing name," because it lets women know that they're welcome. Like, I was like, I loved it,
Absolutely.
and I was just like, "That's one where couples can hang out, women can go in," and
Yeah.
there's this, and there's that. There are some of those lounges that to this day, that's still kind of like, look at a woman. Why is she here? What are you
What are you
doing?
looking for?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't
But
want you
That
sugar
doesn't
daddy.
happen.
I want this. This is what I want. I want to light it up
it,
and I want to enjoy it. Yeah.
but and the beautiful thing is like I've been able to see that change, because like you've been
Exactly.
smoking, going to lounges, since for over 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's completely changed. And no matter what state I've been in, it's
Yeah.
always been it. I don't get that a lot anymore, so that's really cool,
It is. It's
but
really.
the name is just phenomenal. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that's an awesome name.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
That was part of the idea too. We have we have good comments. We have so comments on regards to name. At the end of the day, it's what we like. It's our motto, and it's what we project and the experience you taking from here. So
Hmm.
even if you put the name on the side, I always say, don't matter where you walk in, either you have a good experience or you have a
Hmm.
just a sell, because that's the
Hmm.
reality of things. You can walk into a lounge and unfortunately, um, somebody just want to make a sale. They'll sell you whatever, not
Hmm.
Ah,
know you, not getting to learn your
yes,
palate.
yes,
They
Hmm.
will be like,
yes,
well, this cigar is
yes.
good, but what do you know about that cigar? What about
Hmm.
if it's not the right cigar for me?
Yes,
Especially if
yes.
you're learning or if you're more of a full body or medium, or if you like transition, if you don't like the pepper, but you like more of the earthy, it's so
Hmm.
much that goes into it that if you don't take
Yeah.
the time to get to know your client,
Yes.
you're just making
Yes.
a number. So the
Yes.
person's gonna leave here with, well, I just got my cigars by. No, what about I got a great experience?
Yes.
Carmen and Luis, really educated me. They
Yes.
explained to me or they suggested this because of what I have liked and what I have tried, or what am I leaving here? Where am I gonna go? Am I taking this cigar, go home and have wine, or am I gonna have whiskey? It's
Yes.
many reasons to pair a cigar or just for the
Hmm.
enjoyment itself. To me,
So herein lies the difference, okay, with his and her cigar lounge
yes,
to just like a boutique cigar company, his and her cigar lounge compared to a very large, fully, like a huge name, whatever, right? It's a machine for them. For you, you make it a concierge service, essentially. You're
absolutely.
coming in. Forget the fact of the comfort level that anyone can walk through your doors and feel comfortable 100%
To go.
at all times. But you will reach out and say, you know what, the best customer service, right? The best retail. What can I do how can I help you have a better experience here? And
Yeah,
that is not customary for your larger, no offense to them, God bless them, but your larger places, just like
exactly.
cigars. It's all hand in hand. And I
Absolutely.
truly believe it's such an incredible experience to deal with a small cigar lounge, a boutique cigar company, a magazine that is catering, you know what I mean? The way that they want to cater without having to, be so big or so beholden to advertisement or things like that, right? You're
Hmm.
just breaking it down, right, Ash? I mean, this is why I love the boutique and all the way around. I don't care if
Yeah,
it's bourbon, I don't care if it's a magazine, I don't care if it's cigars. Maybe
absolutely.
it's merch. Who cares? It's just a very different experience. And you
I
guys,
take
his
you
and
gotta
hers,
take pride also. You gotta take
yes,
pride
right.
on your place, on
Absolutely.
yourself, on
That's right. Yeah.
everything. I mean, like I
Yeah.
mentioned, cigar is a lot of work. It just doesn't magically appear in your humidor, and that it is something to enjoy. It has a good history. I mean, if we're talking
Yes.
history, this used to be medicinal. So people
Right?
used to use tobacco for medicinal purposes.
I love it. I know.
It's
I
tons of
love
history
it.
behind this, and people don't realize it. But also, the his and her cigars. I gotta say the story because this just happened today. So let me vent a little bit here, real quick.
Oh, let's hear it.
So I had this gentleman, older gentleman, and you got those clients. They are set their way, and if they don't hear it from a man, it's not validation. You don't know anything. You just work here. And I got in the humidor, and we have a routine. And Don can tell you, the very first time they were here, I got on the humidor and I kind of gave them a whole tour. This is this, this is that. What do you smoke? Everything from A to Z. As much as I can get to know you, the better I can provide this right cigar for you, the better suggestions I can give you or reference about the cigar that you want to smoke that day. And the first thing I always do, hi, I'm Carmen. Welcome. Walk them in. Very quiet gentleman, looking around, completely ignore me. It was like a brick wall. And I was like, I like challenge. So I'm gonna make you talk to me. I don't care how, but I'm gonna make you talk to me.
Ash,
So I started talking.
hell
He
no,
was not
hell
giving me the
no.
look. He was giving me the whole bag, turning around. What do you smoke? Since you're not giving me the name, started talking a little bit of history, how we started. I just put it out there. Let's see what happened. And he looks at me. He's like, "You look too young to be smoking." I said, "Well,
That's a
I've been
compliment. I
smoking
would
for a
say
very
that.
long time." I said, "My age." And, I said, I had my first cigar experience when I was 9, and, this is how it grew. And he looked at me, and sure enough, he gave me the and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great.
He gave you the, what did he give you?
The huh.
The
Huh.
Oh, the
Huh. Okay.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And so I suggested a cigar. He kind of took it. He still took what he was looking for. Went to pay, and Luis was next to me, and he talked to him and completely blew me off. And I'm far by being rude when it comes down to somebody new and give them a bad experience. So it kind of slipped off my mouth, and I said, next time maybe he can walk into the humidor. He can get you a different suggestion, but most likely it's going to be just like mine. And he looked at me, he smirked. Sure enough, a couple of hours later, he walked back in there. I follow him. I told Luis, this is mine. I walked back in there, and I said, so we're going for the second round. What are we smoking? He looked at me, and he said, so tell me about your cigar. I was like, I got you. That I needed. I needed to break the ice. Very old school man, so the mentality also comes into place that
It does.
this is not a woman's world. This is a man's world. So it could be difficult, but it's not impossible.
Right.
So that's why later this evening,
and that's
he came back
happened.
the third time.
guys.
And he decided to join, sit down, have a beer, and actually talk to me.
It's not impossible.
Talk to me. And I said, you know what? I felt accomplished. I felt like I did my job.
Yeah.
I felt like I was able to let you know
Yeah.
you can do this too, because we all love the same thing.
Yeah.
We love a cigar. We
Thank
enjoy it.
you.
So it doesn't matter whether it was Luis or I. But when I see challenges like that, I'm taking them. I always tell them, this is mine.
It's funny because, like, when I was working at the cigar lounge, it was actually the name of the cigar lounge, right? And I remember that's easy, right? So a man came in, and he kind of looks at me, and he's like, hi. And I was like, hi, welcome. I said, and at first I let them kind of go in, because most of it's like repeat. It's their home. They know what to do, right?
Yes.
So then I went in there, and I was like, I said, is there anything in particular you're looking for? Would you like to try something new? What is your profile? Kind of the same thing. And he's just kind of like looking at me, and I just keep on. And then when he comes out, he kind of was
The projection.
he ignored my suggestions, just got what he wanted, and he came out. And then the man from the back came in, and he was like, oh, hi, da-da-da-da. And then he goes, oh, did you meet Ash Red? And he goes, she's our tobacconist. And he's like, she knows something about cigars? And he goes, dude, she knows more than I will ever know. And he goes, she's an expert in this. And he goes, oh, what cigar did you tell me I should try since I like this one? And I was like, oh, I'll show you. And I took him back. And it was really neat, because every time he came back, he wanted to try something different. And he usually stuck,
right?
yeah. And he usually just stuck with the same thing. And they had been trying forever to get him to try something else.
Transition, yeah.
And I was able to get him to transition. And so every time I was there, he was like, okay, I know Ash is going to be here on Saturday. And so he'd always ask. And then when I stopped working, he's like, where's Ash? I need a new cigar. And they're like,
Right.
oh, her internship's
Love it.
over.
I
She's no
love
longer
it.
working. Yeah. So once they realize, and the thing is women's palate is so much better and tuned in and refined
Yes.
than men. So if you see a woman and she suggests a cigar, guys, she knows what she's
You should
talking about.
listen to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Just
I
saying.
think we have a
Just
better
saying.
sense of smell too.
I agree. I agree on that. That's why I also took the tobacconist test and I became a sommelier. So I even put on the wall
Congratulations.
certificate because
Mhm.
even as some people don't think of that.
Guess what?
Yeah.
But
I want to
when you need that reference, you'll be like, yeah, it's right there. Aside from the
Mhm.
fact,
No,
if you
I
take the
want
paper,
all of
paper is like a validation to it,
Yeah.
But we
No, I want it all.
learn.
I want to put all of it on canvas for you. Can I just make it into
But
a
let me
canvas
say, can I-
of
if I can
all
say
of your
something-
qualifications, all of y'all? Like, I'm just gonna make it all canvas.
Have you guys,
I'm serious.
but you
Instead of the
brought people
commandments,
around
it's gonna be
where they
what's
have
that?
this girl who obviously is there as a looker, knows nothing. Bobby and I can't remember where we were, but we walked in, had this young girl,
Yeah.
and I can say this because I'm not near educated as the three of you, but you walked in and she was really, they hired her for all the men to come in and look at. We didn't know
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
So, which is unfortunate, setting a bad example for those females, women that
Mhm.
they know this stuff.
They know.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I had one person that now he's a regular. I'll tell you that story later, Dawn. Because we know this person.
I'm sure.
Actually got
Oh, look.
the nerves to go on into Sundays and see who was the actual owner of the cigar lounge.
Mhm.
That's it.
What a surprise that was. Hello.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that on a private Zoom because I want to hear the whole tea on that. But Dawn,
Yeah.
I have to ask you. So what's in store for Angry Beaver Cigars now? You guys, you just did your launch with Banff at Ish's Polo Lounge, or
You ready?
yeah. Yes.
So as you know, just launched this past Saturday, as you were there, Chantel, in Wellington,
Mhm.
by the great Ish. So we've just been approached by L&M Cigars in Cedar Key to decorate and be their exclusive cigar individuals. Angry Beaver, I think. That's going to happen May 2nd to the 4th. So that's something new. So Bobby's in that. And so we're in the mix of getting online.
Yeah.
So
You've only just begun, right?
So when are we starting? Yeah, I mean, I'm pushing you, but we got to get this rolling now that we have they're here.
Right.
So that's on the horizon.
Guess what? The best thing I can tell you, just from my own personal experience, and again, when I say this to all due respect, I had to say it to myself, and I still say it today, where I am today. You have to crawl before you can walk, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
And you know what? You made the biggest and best step so far. Now, okay, you're gonna climb. That's how hard. I mean, for anybody to start a cigar line or a cigar company or cigar business, whatever it is exponentially extensive, right?
Yeah.
But I think I also said to you guys when I saw you guys, one of the things that people have said about Belladonna is I was worried a little bit because maybe it was feminine, right? I wasn't worried at the time, but then later I'm like, every now and then I'd say, is this like too feminine of a band, right? And then everyone is like, starting at Buffalo Cigar Fest, when I started thinking, like, after I did the relaunch, is this good? And they're like, Chantel, we can remember your logo.
Mhm.
Not a crest. It's not this. We can remember your logo.
Yeah.
Dawn, you got a beaver on.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna remember it, even if they get
There's
rid
no
of the
other
beaver.
beaver.
Come hang
There's
in
no
the
other
beaver.
beaver.
It's
What's
so
that?
unique. It's
Yeah.
so unique.
Yeah.
That's kind of what stands people apart, right? Ash, I don't know why you do not have an Ash Red cigar. I have no fucking clue because you have the silhouette. Like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah, trademark that. What are you
This is
waiting
gonna
for?
go this way, right now.
Why haven't you trademarked it? Because it's not. I know it's close to certain things, but it's not if you when you do the mark on the trademark,
Yep.
if you mark it under cigars, no, it's not. And you might get some bitch who's gonna come along and try to steal that shit from you.
Yes. So
I have a great attorney that'll give you a break. Trust me.
that will
It's
give
not
me
gonna be
okay. Then send them my way.
I'm
Because that's the
being,
thing.
no, I'm being
is-
very serious.
no, I'm
Bye.
serious.
Mhm.
I'm serious
Bye.
because that's kept it in the way. Because like as I mentioned, I had if you knew who all lived in my house, it's insane. So
Yes,
it's like I
I
have.
know.
It's like I think I have 8 people that live in my house.
I know.
And so
And you're
I'm
in charge. I know.
yes, and so I take care of them. So like there's certain things that you
But
put
this
on the
I
back
can get it.
burner. Yeah.
Nope, not
So
this
if
one because nope.
yeah, so if you can get that for me, I would love that. That
And
would
guess
be
what?
awesome.
Oh my god!
What?
I just thought about it. He's in McKinney, Texas, I think.
No way.
No, not that you ever have to like talk to him because it's all via. If I reach out to him and say,
Mhm.
I don't say anything I don't mean. I might
Right.
normally I would say maybe. No, I can
Yeah.
get you a significant discount. You can do this, and
Okay,
he will
then-
do it. It's going to take once you put it in, you're looking at about 8 months total. Okay, you pay him one fee. He's
Yeah.
going to knock his fees down because you have to pay a trademark fee. Like
Right,
there's
you do.
filing
Right.
fees,
And if you
like
do it now, it's
$2.50.
better because
Yeah.
when I did
Yeah.
mine for the logo and the name,
Yeah.
I did it right before COVID. And I
Yeah.
just actually I got my papers from the trademark on Christmas Day. I got the email.
Yes.
Oh.
See,
On
and
Christmas Day.
wait, I love you. I
On
just
Christmas
got
Day.
mine. I just got
Yep.
mine in I think January. But yes, so I have you personally.
Do it now.
Same thing,
Okay.
Dawn. If you and Bobby want to do something with Angry Beaver, I suggest you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. He will run you all across the board. I know that if I ask, for sure.
Well, I would
Very
definitely
significant discount.
definitely would love that.
You have to, you guys, put it in motion. Again, I mean, and I did 2 marks, or no, and that one I only did one. I only had to do one, and you guys would only have to do one. But
Okay.
Ash, for
Yes.
you, I don't know. There might be a little more significance to the actual, your logo, your silhouette.
Yeah.
It might be a little.
It's
I'm
unique.
not quite sure, but no, it's very within your reach. I promise you.
Mhm.
Much more than it's like a less than half of what
Okay.
it would normally cost. Like more like a third of what it would cost.
So yes,
That feels
definitely
good.
put me in contact, and I will
Yeah.
definitely do
Sure.
it.
I can't. I'm so excited. I love that. Oh wait, now I see stuff. Get your hands up. Hello, Sister Lily. Hello there. Oh, Jump King, let's do this, right? Let's do this. So, you guys, I know we're like getting into an hour and 20. I want to still talk to you ladies afterwards, for sure. I don't know if you guys want to do a Zoom after, or if you're
Sure.
busy, let me know. But I would love to do a Zoom just us ladies, or we could even open up the Zoom if you want me to. I think maybe we throw that on Instagram and open up the Zoom. What do you think?
That would be cool. That'd
Listen,
be very
I
cool.
still got wine
Yeah.
and cigars, so
Okay.
I know. I'm still.
all right, that's my
Let's see.
answer.
I
Sure.
Hey,
love you.
Chantel.
See?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
Right.
hard to see in the red glass, but can y'all see?
See?
Wait a minute.
Why your logo is not in there? Get your
It
logo
is.
in there.
Wait a minute. Ash, I thought you were dry and shit. You guys make me look like the drinker. What were you leaning down and licking it out of the
I
face?
love
No,
that.
no, you should, and it's a cigar. Look at that.
That's
In
unique.
this cigar, but yeah.
And that's the
So-
band. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so you know
there's
what
the
I'm gonna do.
Girl,
So
this was
listen to
full. This was huge. So I've been, You
So
should
this
see me
is what we're
over
gonna do,
here.
you guys.
It happens.
Let's what do you think if I create the link and we just post it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah?
it. Let's
Okay.
do
Yeah.
it.
Instagram
So-
and Facebook.
All right, so just
So
post the
quick,
link. Anyone that wants to
ladies,
join.
I have an early morning meeting, so I can't connect after this. Just so you know.
Can't hear, honey.
She says she has a meeting afterwards.
meeting.
So early
no,
meeting in the
I
next morning.
completely understand.
Hey, Chantal, quick thing. What do you think of that cigar?
Fucking fabulous. Fucking fabulous.
Not only was it fabulous, it was fucking fabulous.
Yeah,
Fucking
and
fabulous.
thank you.
All right,
You know what, Ash?
we
Exactly.
want-
I would have just said it was
we'd love to
fabulous.
know the feedback for sure.
Yeah, no. And you know what? It's my fault for talking so much and letting it sit too much. You know what I'm saying? So I've had to touch up. But when I've touched up, it is touched up. It's been even. It's had an even burn the whole time. I don't know if you guys can see, right? Yeah. But I just let it sit. I'm over here fidgeting. I'm doing this and this and this, right? Great. No, I mean this. But I'm gonna take Carmen's cue when I try a cigar for the first time. I should have bought two.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning, right? And that's
Buy three. Buy
do
three.
a clean palette, but I wanted to have it for tonight. And then my friend Dan that was there, like I gave him all the sticks because we bought a bunch. He took care of it, right? But we bought a bunch. But I said, okay, you know what? 'Cause that's how I am. I'm like, I just need one of the Angry Beaver I know I'm gonna want, and you can have the rest of them, right? Because he's not out there like I am.
Yeah.
Amongst like the cigar industry or whatever. He goes to shops or I wanted him to have the whole jam. So so next up. So yes, fabulous. So I'm gonna finish smoking it on the Zoom. I say we take a 8-10 minute break. I'll create the Zoom. I will put it on my Instagram. And I'll put it on Belladonna Facebook. And let's just go Zoom live with whoever decides to show up, because this was a little convoluted, but they can't knock us off Zoom.
Let's chit
Nope.
chat.
It's true. It's true.
I pay for that shit too every month.
You're safe there.
I feel like I was the troublemaker that got us in trouble.
No, you weren't. No.
Well,
Ash, I'm going to tell you something.
then that's no fun. I mean, you gotta have some fun.
No, Ash, I'm going to tell you something. Really, in reality, when you think of things and why they happen, had that not happened, and I apologize, like on your demise, had that not happened, Ash, we could have done this, right? Even after we could have done this tonight on that platform, because we didn't even know what was going on, people being banned and all this other stuff. And I could have lost my entire Instagram account.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
Are you
So
kidding?
that's true.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like someone hitting your bumper and you're pissed the fuck off, but it could have been a terrible accident, right?
Yeah.
So no, I know. Yeah. But you said you got your account back, correct?
I got it back. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because you weren't fucking soliciting sex. Hey, like,
You know me.
You know there's worse people out there. So that's ridiculous. Because I've seen some stuff on Instagram that I'm like, why?
No.
Why?
That's what Chantel and I were talking about. I've seen
even in our industry. No. I see
other
these
stuff.
guys posting shit with cigars like Monica Lewinsky style. Okay? On public Instagram, the crack of the biscuits, right? And it's allowed, almost near nakedness. It's allowed. I don't even understand. Where's the logic? And it's promoting cigars. Forget even everything else that's going on out there. So, yeah. Ladies, I love you guys. And so I will see you in about 8 minutes or whatever it is. And I'm going to post a Zoom link on publicly. So that ought to be interesting. I've never done that before. So let's see what happens. I love you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Have a
Go
good
to
night.
your meeting. Go be the beautiful, badass boss babe that you are. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon.
And I'll start seeing y'all in like a couple weeks.
What's the date you're coming out?
Yeah.
March 16th through the 22nd, 21st.
And where are you? Where are you?
22nd.
I will
Where
be in Clearwater, close to Tampa.
Oh, you're gonna be
coming
close
to
to
my-
you.
Ash, let me
Yeah.
tell you something right now.
Don, hold on. Don, you want to make a girls
Yeah.
trip?
Oh, we
They're
wanted to
yeah.
come to you.
Why
We
don't
wanted
you
to
guys
come to
come to
you.
my
coming
house?
around.
Come to my house.
All
Why
right,
don't you
And then
come
they're
to
gonna make it
my
out this
house?
way.
then come this
What?
way. I'll
You
have
what?
a cigar and something for you.
They want to see your lounge.
You guys,
Bring
all
yourself
right,
here.
all
Absolutely.
right, we need to talk about this very seriously. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so
Yeah,
stoked.
we'll get
I
a group
didn't-
chat.
Yes.
Awesome.
You're about to be
Okay.
blessed with a Texas woman.
Woo!
Be prepared.
She is. The
I'm ready.
queen. All right, you guys. I love all of you, and I will see you, except for you, Dawn. Have a great night, honey.
Yes.
You're killing it. And you know what? You got so many of us here behind you that, and
We
again,
appreciate the
I'm a
support.
work in progress every day. I don't know everything. Neither do they. You know what I mean? We all learn something every day. You're going to be fine as the fuzz on a Georgia peach.
Mhm.
Well, I'll be hanging.
Excited for you.
I can take and glean everything from you, ladies. So
Aw.
There you go. Yes,
Aw.
and avoid mistakes and make progress quicker, correct? So
Right.
yeah,
You got
that's why
this.
we're here.
absolutely.
It's not all in Carmen and Ash, it's not all in vain, right? The struggle isn't in vain.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So you know what? We'll just take you right in, my love.
Love it. There's
All right,
nothing
ladies,
better
I'll see you
than
shortly.
there's nothing better than supporting another woman. You know,
Mhm.
when there's so many out there that just
It's hard to find.
concept. And when you're winning, I'm winning.
Right.
That's what
Exactly.
Good concept.
This
Mhm.
is
I
what
know.
this is what we really need. It's very difficult. Like, we talked, Ash, you said it. I think Carmen, you said it. Dawn, I'm not sure if you said it. I don't think you've heard you say it. But we have a tendency to gravitate towards men as friends. Friends. We're talking real legit friends.
true.
Because
Yep.
women, unfortunately, I don't want to even say it on this public
I will.
forum.
I'll say it for
But
you. Some women
thank
can be
you.
vicious for no reason. For no reason. And that's
Okay.
the reality
All
of
right. Before we end up breaking it down, they're catty, they're conniving, they're fucking backstabbing. It's so next level garbage that I look at people like
Why?
you have 10 heads. I don't even have to fucking stand. Like
Mhm.
why? Why would you behave that way? It makes no sense to me. I
No.
want everybody to win. Fuck me then, I guess, right? I want everyone to win. I
When
want
you
us
find out
all
the
to
answer,
win.
you let us know, Chantel, because I just think they're all naughty.
You what?
They're all naughty. When you find out the answer
Sure.
to why that happens, you let us know.
Do you know what? I will never know in my life why that is the way it is. Because again, you know what? There's so much,
here-
just like in our industry, there's so much room for everyone.
For no
Guess
reason.
what? I want you to
Right.
win. I want you to win. I want
Mhm.
you to win.
Right.
I don't hold anything. Guess what? If I don't like you, then I'm not going to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disparage whatever it is you're doing. I'm just not going to hang
Mhm.
out with you. Whatever. You know what? I got too much. I have too much going on. Like to even worry about someone that I could care less what happened. But if I care, I want you to win,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
It's just
Exactly.
yeah, it's crazy. But guess what? We have our own little sister of the leaf kind of thing right here, so I'm really digging it. All right. I love you, ladies. I will see you in about now. Well, yeah, I keep saying the same time, 7 minutes, something like that. Give me a minute to post it and then go potty and refill wine, and we'll see you back.
Are we
in
gonna
the
do this on Instagram?
Zoom. Nope.
Zoom.
All right, perfect.
No.
Send me the
All right.
link.
Don't
Yeah,
do
no, we
anything
don't
on
want to get cut
Instagram.
off. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoom. Private Zoom.
All we
but I'm
want to
gonna
do
post
is a
it
zoom,
public.
zoom, and a zoom. Just zoom, zoom.
Wait, can you wait?
You guys have a great rest of your week and be
You
safe.
too. You
Thank
See you
too.
soon.
my love. Hey Ash, can you do that again?
Bye.
All I want is Zoom. Can you do it again?
All I want to do is a zoom, and a zoom. I'll see you on Zoom.
That was a good song. That was right on the 90s. I know that's it.
And you know what? I liked it. You broke that shit down. All right, ladies. Good night. I'll see Dawn. Good night, honey.
Bye, Mama.
I'll see both of you
Night.
very shortly. Just look on my IG. All right, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right, how do I end it now? Here we go. Help me, God. How do I end this? I'm in trouble, Carmen. End. Okay, end stream.